Hello everyone and welcome back to another of my reviews. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the new Ettore from Hong Kong watch microbrand Atowak. Now Atowak is known for its avant-garde designs, with the brand first gaining mainstream popularity with this, the Ettore, which even got a feature on Watchfinder. Since then, they have released an Urwerk-esque Cobra, which also got a feature on Watchfinder, cementing themselves as one of the foremost options when it comes to affordable hot horology. Atowak kindly sent over the Ettore for me to review, so let's see if it's any good. So first and foremost, look at the specs. I would say that the specs of the Atowak Ettore is decent for the price. Firstly, the Atowak Ettore uses a sapphire crystal. So as aforementioned numerous times in my previous reviews, I'm a huge advocate of sapphire crystal due to its inherent scratch resisting properties. Personally, I always look for sapphire crystal in my modern watches as it adds greatly to the durability of the watch. Unfortunately, the Ettore has a paltry water resistance rating of just 30 meters, so definitely avoid water as much as possible. At the back, although heavily redesigned to accommodate the wandering hour complication, which we'll talk about more later, the base movement powering the Ettore is the Miyota 9015, a more affordable alternative to the ETA 2824. It beats at the same 4Hz frequency as its Swiss counterpart, which translate usually on a time-only watch to a smoother sweep on the second hand. If you'd like to know more of the movement, I think you can go Google it, a blog to watch the very in-depth review of the Miyota 9000 series. So it usually has about 42 hours of power reserve, but Atowak advertises the Ettore power reserve at only 36 hours. So I assume the wandering hour complication is more energy consuming the power than your usual time only. And while ordinarily I would say that a Miyota 9015 movement would be a tad underwhelming for a $1,500 or about Sing dollar watch, that would be to ignore the obvious cost that obviously went into the wandering hour complication. But in any case, a simple time only chrono, which I also have, also utilizes this Miyota 9000 movement, and that costs about twice the price. So yeah, I won't really complain about this Miyota 9000 movement here, and you can see at least they did some sort of base decorations. What I am disappointed about is the quality of this strap. So which I really think is very subpar for a 4-figure watch. The leather upper feels stiff and artificial, probably mere genuine leather. And you can see this lining here just feels very cardboard-like. It's a strap that I expect on like a $200, $300 Daniel Wellington, not one of this price range. I suppose it's a rather simple fix to get another strap, but still I expected better at this price point. However, what I do like is the usage of Swiss Supernova C3 on the case of the watch, as well as the hands and numerous pop-out loom shot here. It's an interesting aesthetic and one that further reinforces the spaceship-esque design. It's rather bright in the dark too, which would mean that multiple layers of supernova were used. So all in all, I would say that Atowak Ettore really possesses solid build quality for the price. I don't really have any complaints except for, like I said, the cheap strap, although that can be easily remedied by, let's say, a third-party option from the way watch works. Of course, however, the main draw of the Ettore is definitely the avant-garde wandering hour design. So for those who are uninitiated, the wandering hour complication displays time through an arm showing the hour, which moves in an arc showing the minutes. So at this current stage, it would be about 9:57, something around there. You can see the 9 is pointing towards the 57 mark, and it's almost 10 o'clock. So just to illustrate how that will work, you can see this is how the passage of time would look like. There you go. So there'll be about, let's say over here, this is about 11:30, so on and so forth. So this is the wandering hour complication is a complication popularized by independent horology darling Urwerk, although the roots of the wandering hour can be traced all the way back to the 17th century. It's definitely one of the more striking complications horology has to offer. It's one that will make those who even aren't watch enthusiasts to take a second look. And in addition, to the striking wandering hour complication, you can see that the dial actually also features Geneva striping, which is an unconventional aesthetic feature, one that reminds me of, let's say, something like the Glashütte original Panamatic inverse. It really adds texture to the dial, and as well as visual interest. The sheen, you can see it plays very nicely with the light and reinforces this fashion forward nature of the watch. And as if all that is not unconventional enough, Atowak has also decided to use this sort of, I guess I can describe this as like a disc-like case for the Ettore. It reminds me of like a UFO. and it again re-enhances the futuristic nature of the watch. It's a unique case-shaped one that not only attracts attention but also sets it apart from like its Urwerk inspiration. I'm not sure if it's intentional, but this Atowak branded segment of the case, you can see here sort of this portion, actually reminds me of a movement rotor. There's textural juxtaposition here as well. You can see here that this brush, the metal part here is brushed, whereas the edges, here you go, the edges are actually polished. So lastly, the crown is also positioned at the left side. And just in case there weren't enough differentiating factors, making this a very viable dash roll watch. Okay, so with all that said and done, let me put it on the wrist and show you guys how it wears. Alright, let me do a slow wrist roll. So although it's 46.5 mm diameter may sound large, on paper it actually wears rather small on the wrist due to the short 40.5 mm lug to lug length. It's not a small watch by any means, but it's definitely not a 7 Friday. And at 13 millimeters thick, it's actually slim enough to slide underneath a shirt cuff. So yeah, overall I would say that the unique selling point of the Ettore is really its eye-catching design, with a wandering hour complication, a Geneva striping on the dial, a disc-like case with contrasting textures, and even a left-handed crown. This Ettore is meant to turn heads, and from my personal experience, it definitely succeeds in that regard. Alright, so in conclusion, the Atowak Ettore is definitely one of the most impressive watches I've handled at this sub $1,500 Singapore price point. Not only is it one of the most affordable wandering hour timepieces, but it's just a complete package. It has several intriguing aesthetic touches and it's also surprisingly wearable on the wrist. So those who are interested in purchasing the watch can use the promo code WASOSHIOK to enjoy 15% off Atowak watches from their web store. After the discount, this Atowak Ettore can be had for just about $1,100 or about slightly under 1,500 Singapore dollars, making it one of the most affordable wandering hour watches in the market today. Alright, so that rounds up this review. If you like this video, do give it a thumbs up, do share it around, and comment down below what you think of the Ettore. As always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao!